Well, we got what we asked for. We were able to play the champions of Europe. And unfortunately, looks like we lost 2-1. I cannot believe we lost to these baguette eaters. But at the end of the day, they were the best team. They were the better team. They were able to score in the last minute, and they won it at our home. Well, our temporary home, our rented home. We're still waiting on the Spotify Camp. No, hopefully we're going to be seeing that. Apparently they announced something where we may see it soon, but we don't know. It's always up in the air with this club. They tell us one thing and it never happens. But fair play to PSG. Fair play to PSG. Listen, man, I got to give them props. They were the better team at the end of the day. They're the best club in the world, to be fair. At this very moment, they're the current best club. But we're right behind them. Genuinely, we are the top two clubs in the world when it comes to football. Last season, we proved it. Unfortunately, we were knocked out at Inter Milan at the San Siro. And the thing is, against all the clubs, we never have the favors of the refs. They never assist us with anything or call anything in our favor or show us just a fair play through and through. Michael Oliver is one of the worst refs I have ever seen. He does so many controversial calls, dude. It's actually insane. But I'm not here to make excuses, genuinely. Because, like I'm saying, PSG were the better club. By the time we were in that 60th minute, bro, we were gassed. Our players were gassed. They just looked tired. They couldn't go all the way with the high press. Our high line, unfortunately, was our downfall. Kubarsi with a little error at the end. And now the second goal, to me, it looked offside, but they released the VAR images and he was behind the ball because Goncalo was the one that finished it up, wrapped it up with a 2-1. Um, yeah, man. Day sucks. But at the end of the day, it's nothing too serious. I mean, it wasn't like we were beat off the park or anything. And what I've been seeing on the social media as of recently, it's a bunch of people talking about we barely played, we barely beat or barely lost to or struggled against the B team for PSG when they realistically only missed three important players attacking wise. They had all three starters of their midfield, and in their defense, they only missed Hakim. I mean, not Hakimi, Marquinhos. They only missed Marquinhos in their defense. They had everyone else. The front three weren't there, which was Barcola, Due, and Dembele. I'm like, that's not the end of the world. Like, they still had a decent team there because they had their system. The way they use it's all about pace and fastball movement, and they still had the best midfield in the world supposedly. So I don't get this notion that they were, helpless and we should have beat them out the park. I thought we would have because we were the better team in my eyes, due to me being a Barca fan. But unfortunately, our players, they just looked gas. The first 45 minutes were all Barca. We weren't clinical. But one person that I would really, 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 really have to critique today, Dani Olmo. What the heck, man? You just had an absolute stinker today. And the previous games you've had, even in the La Liga, bro. Coming from last season, he had a phenomenal first season with Barcelona. But this season, he's been missing, man. He just cannot go back to that type of standard that he had. Fermin Lopez is looking way, 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 way more consistent than he is. And we did pay a good significant amount of money for him. And Danny Olmo just needs to step up here. If we can get that 2024 Olmo in the Euros, 2024, when we played that season, that was a good Olmo. If it wasn't for the injuries, he would be a lot better and we would have affected a lot more in the play. But it was unfortunate to see. Now, the two people that I would have to give my highest respect was Rashford and Pedri. Those two players, bro. Today, they wanted to win. Oh, and I almost forgot Gerard Martin. Gerard Martin today was sensational, bro. These players are so young, especially on our back line. It's actually insane. And Hansi Flick didn't even trust Arajo. And if you're a genuine Barca fan, a genuine Barca fan, you would understand why. Arajo has choked under those big lights sometimes, man. When it comes down to it, he just makes horrendous blunders where we just either lose a player, give up a goal. It's just unnecessary blunders. That's the one thing that I cannot forgive Araujo for. He does it so often against the biggest of moments. So many times. Seeing Kubarsi, Eric Garcia, Gerard Martin, Kunde, those were phenomenal players today. Kunde didn't have the best of games, but defensively he was really good. Going forward, he wasn't. Um, he would lose the ball going forward. Unfortunately, that's just what happens. Lamine Yamal had an amazing game. Within the first couple minutes, he threw a Travella down to Ferran, our Tiburon, and unfortunately, he couldn't close it out. I mean, Dani Olmo had an absolute sitter as well. He couldn't finish that. This is what I mean. There were just certain moments where we have to be clinical, and this is where we missed Rafinha. Rafinha was our most clinical player last season. He clutched up when we needed him. Marcus Rashford is sensational. Marcus Rashford is sensational. As soon as Marcus Rashford and Pedri came off, the game was pretty much all in PSG's court. They were taking it to us. We had no chance, no creativity. Our players were winded. And the other crazy part for me, Nuno Mendes should have been sent off due to a double yellow. But like I said, the referees are never in our favor, and I accept that. I'm not going to sit here and cry and moan about the referees not giving us X, Y, and Z. Because at the end of the day, I know what it comes down to. We've been robbed before. We have had to take it on the chin. We can't complain about it anymore. Because I know and I expect it at the end of the day. Some fans are still new to this, and that's fine. They haven't been able to accept it yet, but eventually they will. They'll see that the referee is not on our side. But now a lot of people are starting to criticize Hansi Flick. Now these are more of the fan base that I'm seeing on like the social media, such as Twitter, which is a cesspool when it comes to their opinions. And then TikTok sometimes are funny though because they're just bantering half the time. But I don't mind it. It's kind of funny. When it's a funny joke and stuff, I'm willing to take it. I'll take it on the chin all day. But the one fan base that I'm genuinely laughing at is the Madrid fan base. They cannot sit at the table when it comes to the best club in the world at the moment. Because the top three clubs let me do top four. Top four clubs that I have seen play phenomenal football who have the best chance in the Champions League would be Barcelona, PSG, Bayern Munich, Arsenal. Just in the depth and the ability that they play and them being able to close out games. They're just the better teams just due to those facts with the bench, with their tactics, with the amount of goals they can score, with the least amount of goals that they can concede. This is why I say the Champions League, what it comes down to a lot of the times, are those minuscule moments. And a little bit of luck sometimes genuinely helps. PSG saw how much luck you need sometimes. They were always at the edge, on the rider's edge, literally skating by when it came to knockout rounds. As soon as they faced Liverpool, it went to PKs. PKs is always 50-50, no matter what it is. It's a 50-50, and when you lose, it's a hard loss, but we got to accept it. They lost to Aston Villa. Aston Villa almost came back to level it, but Donnarumma and Pacho saved them twice. Donnarumma came up huge against Arsenal. This is what I mean. Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck sometimes. And sometimes we just fall short due to either an unfavorable call from the referees, our us not being clinical, us making rash decisions, horrible blunders. That's whatever. I'm not gonna really sit here and dwindle too much on what happened today because it's a learning lesson. It's a humbler sometimes. It's like, okay, guys, we're beatable. But let's take this. Let's learn from it. We lost to the best team in the world at this point. They are the champions of Europe. Obviously, Chelsea are the champions of the world thanks to the Club World Cup, but I don't see Chelsea being a problem, to be fair, because they are not looking good whatsoever. They are struggling to score goals at the moment. So when we go to the Stamford Bridge in about 2 to 3 weeks, I'm really not afraid of going to Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge to us, we have an amazing memory, so I don't mind going there. But El Clasico is coming up. There's a lot of football. At the end of this weekend, we're going to be seeing a lot of big things. Hopefully, we get some more information on rumors of the injuries. Because this team wasn't bad, to be fair, and we played a really, really, really new and young team. Gerard Martin is coming into form. Eric Garcia, he can play anywhere: left back, right back, center back, CDM. That man is versatile. He is genuinely playing anywhere that needs to be played. He has been versatile and so important for us to improve because when we have injuries all around, it affects us. Um, and it does do good too because Christensen and Araujo, we need to keep them healthy for whenever the knockout rounds come at the beginning of the next year. That's when it's going to be the biggest moments that we need our best players fit. That's why I'm not really panicking like a lot of these Barca fans because this is not worrisome. Like this league phase, it's a league phase, guys. You're able to lose a couple of games. PSG lost what was it, 2 or 3 games last season, and then they were able to come back by winning 3 to 4 straight. This is what I mean. It doesn't matter. You'll be able to come back because at the end of the day, it's a league phase. Maybe you play an extra knockout round, but it's a Champions League. You have to prove your worth sometimes. You have to be able to fight tooth and nail. If you don't, you're never going to win that Champions League. But today, it was a really big learning lesson. It was a humbler. We're able to look on it. Fair play to PSG. They deserved it. At the end of the day, they were better than us when it came to that second half. Because that second half, we had nothing. Our players were gassed, man. Our players were gassed. And then as soon as Pedri and Rashford came on, there was nothing we could do. We had no one else on the bench that we could really put in that could, like a wild card. There was nothing there. But don't fret. Tranquilos. Calma. Calma todos. Todos tranquilos. We're gonna be all right. It's PSG. We wanted them, we got them, and we learned from it. It was 1-2. We had injuries, they had injuries. It was fair play, man. It was an amazing game to watch, to be fair. Both teams were going at it tooth and nail. We all had chances. Unfortunately, it was a 2-1 at the end. And, let's just think it was an amazing football. Let's learn from it. Let's hope Hansi Flick can resolve some of the injury situation. And hopefully by January, when the window is open again, we're back at the Spotify Camp Nou, and we're able to get back to the 1-of-1. Because if we can get back to the 1-of-1, we need to go and buy another center back. We need another center back that'll be paired well with Kubarsi. With the departure of Indigo, he was an amazing captain. He was an amazing captain. He was fast on the ball. He led the team fairly well. I still rate Christensen. I still rate Araujo. Well, the thing is, Araujo really, like I'm mentioning, Araujo has humongous blunders when it comes to the biggest of moments. Christensen is amazing, but whenever it comes down to it and you put him at risk of playing consistent games, he will come injured. We can look at his record when it comes to his injuries. It's just injury galore, guys. We have to keep them healthy. Hansi Flick has talked about this nonstop. With the style of play that we have, the players are at risk due to muscle tears, ligament, anything whatsoever. He's trying to keep them as healthy as possible. But hey, let's look forward. We got Sevilla at the weekend. Once we get this 3 points from Sevilla, we're going to be going to international break. And I sincerely hope our players don't go. I don't want Pedri and I don't want Lamine Yamal going because De La Fuente he is horrible at keeping our players healthy. Because as soon as our Barca players go to play out to their international squad, they come back with injuries. And he has done this nonstop. He did it with Gavi, he did it with Pedri, he did it with Lamine Yamal. He needs to stop. De La Fuente is a horrendous coach. I'm not even Spanish. I genuinely don't care about the national team for Spain. But when it comes to the well-being of the club team members, like it's not worth it. They're playing World Cup qualifiers. I get it. They want to be called up for the national team. But at this point, there's no point in going out there because they're just at risk to get injured for 1 or 2 points when I think they're pretty much already qualified. They already have like what 12 something points. I don't know. I have to relook at it. But we have to. Oof, I really don't want them going out there because I'm telling you they're going to get injured, and if they come back injured, we're screwed. Because I don't want Balde injured again. He was missed today, but like I said, Gerard Martin was fantastic, man. Gerard Martin, you could see him on that field. And I don't want to hear this notion that Nuno Mendes pocketed Lamine Yamal today. You do know Nuno Mendes was supposed to be sent off. He had a double yellow. He had a double yellow. That was a double yellow. And as soon as that happened, Luis Enrique shifted him to the left wing. He pushed him higher up and did not allow him to guard Lamine Yamal anymore because he knew he was struggling. He knew if he kept him there, he would have been sent off and got a red and would have missed 2 games. He would have missed the remainder of this one and the next. So let me tell you, don't listen to that narrative that Lamine Yamal was pocketed today. He was not. He absolutely was not. He was cooking. He was genuinely cooking. Nuno Mendes needed a lot of help today. He really did defensively. But oh well. We'll take it on the chin, boys. We'll rock on to the next one. A ver qué pedo,